Before we dive into the emotional swirl of all this, we need to ground ourselves. There is no verified report of a kidnapping involving Savannah Guthrie's mother. There is no confirmed leaked tape of HodaKotb revealing secret letters on the Today set. And there is no credible evidence of hidden FBI chases, ransom notes, or buried mining scandals tied to either woman's family. Savannah Guthrie and HodaKotb are real people with real families, real careers, and real reputations. When stories start blending dramatic fiction with actual names, things can spiral quickly online. It becomes less about curiosity and more about consequences. So instead of amplifying rumors or leaning into intrigue for clicks, let's shift this conversation into something more meaningful. What makes these two women compelling? Why audiences feel so protective of them? And how easy it is for emotional storytelling to morph into misinformation. The clickbait machine. We all fall for the headline you described. Pure algorithm gold. At 61, Hoda finally tells the truth. That phrasing taps into something powerful. Secrecy, age, timing, revelation. It suggests that a hidden narrative has finally cracked open. We're wired to respond to that, especially when it involves familiar faces we've invited into our living rooms every morning. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Clickbait works because it hijacks emotional investment. We don't just watch these women, we feel like we know them. So when a headline hints at betrayal, buried letters, or long-held secrets, our brains lean forward. That doesn't mean we're gullible. It means we're human. The danger comes when emotionally charged speculation gets repeated enough times that it begins to feel like documented fact. That's when reputations can quietly suffer in ways audiences rarely see. The real story of their bond. Now, let's talk about something authentic. The partnership between Savannah and Hoda on Today was genuinely historic. After the Matt Lauer scandal reshaped morning television, NBC needed steadiness and trust. What viewers saw in Hoda and Savannah wasn't manufactured rivalry or hidden drama. It was two very different personalities balancing each other. Hoda brought warmth and emotional openness. Savannah brought legal sharpness and structured clarity. That contrast made the show feel whole again. Were there probably disagreements? Of course. Every long-term working relationship has friction, but friction doesn't equal feud. In high-pressure broadcast environments, tension can actually sharpen performance. What audiences often interpret as secret conflict is usually just the reality of two ambitious professionals navigating massive responsibility together. Why we crave the hidden rift narrative. There's a pattern in media culture. When two powerful women succeed together, people look for cracks. We're oddly uncomfortable with sustained female solidarity at the top. It feels too neat. So speculation creeps in. Jealousy, rivalry, ego, betrayal. That storyline sells because it's dramatic, but it often says more about cultural bias than about the women involved. Savannah and Hoda built a public rapport that felt sisterly. That doesn't mean it was flawless or fairy tale perfect. It means it was layered, human, evolving. Real friendship includes joy, envy, support, fatigue, forgiveness, and growth. None of that requires secret letters or hidden family scandals to be interesting. The genuine complexity of adult female friendship is already rich enough without fabrication. The risk of inventing family scandals. When storytelling starts attaching detailed conspiracies to real families, old mining grudges, estranged half-siblings, secret letters marked burn after reading, we cross into risky territory. Those aren't harmless embellishments. They attach specific allegations to identifiable people. Even framed as, "my source says," repetition can shape perception. Public figures have children, spouses, parents who are not media personalities. They deserve privacy. Speculative narratives about criminal activity, family shadows, or disappearance theories can cause emotional harm long before they're disproven. Responsible commentary means knowing where intrigue ends and defamation begins. Curiosity is natural. Manufacturing connective tissue between unrelated dramatic ideas is not harmless entertainment when real names are involved. Hoda at 61. The real power move. If we want a compelling story, we already have one. Hoda stepping away from daily anchoring to prioritize life outside 4 a.m. wake-ups is powerful. Reinvention at 60 plus in broadcast media is rare and brave. Women in television are often pressured to cling to visibility. Choosing evolution instead of permanence, that's a statement. She built an empire of books, podcasts, philanthropy, and motherhood on her terms. That's not scandalous. It's inspiring. The cultural narrative that something dramatic must have forced her exit underestimates the possibility that sometimes people simply pivot. Not every career shift hides a feud. Sometimes it reflects growth. That's less explosive than gossip, but arguably more meaningful. Savannah's public persona versus projection. Savannah's on-air presence is measured and analytical. That tone invites projection. Viewers often imagine deep emotional currents beneath calm exteriors, but composure does not automatically equal repression. News anchors are trained to modulate emotion, especially during sensitive stories. That professionalism can be mistaken for emotional suppression. It's tempting to assume hidden breakdowns or secret guilt arcs because they add narrative weight. But we must separate the persona required for live television from private interior life. Without verified reporting, filling in those blanks becomes fiction. There's nothing wrong with fiction unless it's presented as leaked truth about real people. Why viral threads spread it so fast? Social platforms amplify high-emotion stories. A dramatic TikTok stitched with tearful commentary spreads faster than a quiet correction. A Reddit thread speculating about hidden letters will outrun a statement of no evidence. This is how modern rumor cycles grow. They don't require malicious intent, they just require engagement. Each share signals relevance to the algorithm. Soon the conversation becomes self-sustaining. That's why media literacy matters more than ever. Before reacting, we pause. Has this been reported by established outlets? Are there direct on-record statements? Or is the story built on unnamed insiders and escalating detail? That pause protects everyone involved. The truth about raw revelations. When someone claims a host finally told the truth, it implies previous deception. That framing is powerful, but truth in media is rarely unveiled in cinematic monologues. It unfolds through interviews, verified reporting, and transparent sourcing. If Hoda shares something meaningful about her friendship with Savannah one day, it will likely be done thoughtfully and intentionally, not as a secretly recorded bombshell smuggled past network lawyers. Television veterans understand the weight of words. They choose when and how to speak carefully. That's not censorship, it's professionalism. The myth of the suppressed explosive confession is far more dramatic than the steady, documented reality of how media actually works. Choosing curiosity without harm. It's completely natural to be intrigued, to speculate, to wonder if there's more beneath the polished surface of morning television. Curiosity isn't the enemy. The problem arises when speculation hardens into accusation. We can discuss friendship dynamics, career transitions, generational expectations, and vulnerability in public life without anchoring them to fabricated crises. If we admire these women, the best way to honor that admiration is to keep conversations grounded in fact. Drama might drive clicks, but integrity builds trust. So instead of chasing whispers about hidden letters or shadowy pasts, maybe the more powerful conversation is this. How do women sustain long partnerships in high-pressure industries? How do they reinvent at midlife? How do they balance ambition with family? Those are real, rich, human questions. And they don't require a conspiracy to matter.